This is what greeted me this morning, a little dead carcass, a little lizard. I'm going to get him out of the classroom before my little students arrive because they will be yelling and screaming if they see him. So, good morning.
Hi, everybody, and welcome back. This is Shay with the Learning Project, and I have another update with my student who I gave the beginning of the year assessment to. Then I gave her another assessment in October, and now it is November, and I'm giving her yet the same assessment, but another assessment to see where she is with certain skills. So in front of me, I gave her the assessment today, and in front of me are her assessment results. I always get like a little nervous when I give out the assessments, but I'm excited about her results. I'm going to share them with you right now. So now when it comes to her colors, she knows the color red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. She still is having trouble with the colors pink, brown, black, and white. She's not able to yet identify those colors, but she knows the other 6 colors. For her shapes, for identifying shapes, she knows the circle and the triangle, and now she knows the square. And for her letters, oh my gosh, she can identify all of the capital and all of the lowercase letters. And for the identifying the letter sounds, for some reason, she's having trouble with identifying the sound for the letter Y. Before, on her previous assessment that I gave her, she was not having trouble with the letter Y, but all of a sudden she developed that trouble with that. She was saying "w" instead of "ya." So instead of her, she was making the "w," the Y sound, instead of making the "y" sound. So that is the only letter sound that she's having difficulty identifying, but she knows all of the rest. Y'all, this is excellent. This is excellent. I'm so proud of her. And when it comes to identifying the numbers, now she knows so many numbers. She cannot still identify the number 19, 20, 12, and 13. And actually, when she was saying the numbers 15 and 18 and the other team numbers, she was saying 50 and 80, and I corrected her. And once I corrected her, she was like, oh yeah. And then she was able to tell me 15, 18 instead of 50 and 80. But she only has 4 numbers that she cannot yet recognize, and that's 19, 20, 12, and 13. And when it comes to writing her numbers, she once again she can still write the numbers 1 through 10, but look at this number 2. It looks like she flipped it, and now she's writing the number 2 backwards once again. Now, if we look at her previous assessment, she was able to write the numbers 1 through 10, but she had the number 2 written correctly, but for some reason she has flipped that number again. And then when it comes to counting objects, she's also able to count the objects 1 through 10 and to write the number 10, showing that there are 10 objects. So you all, she has come so far. I am so proud of her. For the letter Y, I put her back on Starfall this morning, actually. And when I put her on Starfall, she had to listen to that letter Y 3 times, hitting that number block. I had another previous video, or actually 2 videos talking about Starfall, but she had to click on that letter block Y and to listen to the sound 3 times. And then afterwards, I asked her why, and she was able to tell me yeah, and I asked her W, she was able to tell me what. So she was able to hear the difference between the 2 sounds. Now, what I am going to do is I am going to have her on Starfall for about 5 more days, just listening to the letter Y, just to ensure that she doesn't confuse it in the future with the letter W, or the sound that the W makes with just what. So you all, she is doing fantastic, and I am really proud of her. Now, another thing that I'm looking at her for, and all of my students, but I'm going to track her for her high frequency words, or her sight words. I did another video talking about sight words, and I'm going to show you her paperwork that shows the sight words that she knows and the sight words that she does not know. Now, on my board behind me are all of the words that she should know, and we're going to take a look at that now to see which words she is having a little bit of difficulty with. Well, everybody, I'm looking at her sight word test, and I administered that test on the 24th, not just to that one student, but to my entire class. And I was reviewing it right now just to see what I need to work with this particular student with regarding her sight words. And look, she got an E. She got all of them correct. I actually went back to look at everyone's results because it's been a couple of, that was last month. And everyone got an E except for one student got a G, which is like a B. So it looks like she doesn't have to do any work with her sight words. Yay! I'm so excited. For some reason, had it in my head that she had missed about 3 or 4 words, but I do see the student that did miss who got the G. Altogether, there are 26, I believe, words. And she did not miss any. This one particular student who you all are going along the journey with me regarding her results for some of these tests. But yeah, she got them all right. Like I said, I had in my head that she missed like 4, but she didn't miss any. So she is doing actually really, really well. Now, what I'm working on now with the class is segmenting and blending phonemes. I know some of you who are watching are not teachers, and essentially what that is that once students learn their letters and they learn their sounds, what they're going to start reading, right? And so we're going to give them CVC words. That's a consonant, vowel, consonant word, such as cat, bat, rug, those type of words. And they're going to have to be able to hear how to break the word down. So let's say if the word is, rat, then they need to be able to say t, and then blend it, rat. So segment the sounds and then blend the sounds. So right now with this particular student, in my entire class, I'm working with them to identify and segment and blend the sounds. And they're going to be able to use the segmenting and blending arm in order to sound out words and identify words that they don't know. So I want to talk a little bit about the segmenting and blending arm because it's a little bit, it's a strategy or a technique that kids can use to help them to sound out words that they don't know. And it's actually really great for them. I absolutely love it. Before, I wasn't using the segmenting and blending arm to assist my students with reading, but now I cannot see myself not ever using it because it helps kids to understand. In a sense, it gives them something kinesthetic or helps them just to understand, look, words have different sounds to them. They have a beginning sound, a middle sound, and an ending sound. And this is where the letter or the sound is placed. So I really like the segmenting and blending arm to help students to be able to sound out words and to be able to blend words and to be able to help students to read by using that particular strategy. Now, I remember there was a parent, it wasn't one of my parents of my students, but there was a parent who told one of my colleagues or shared with one of my colleagues that she didn't feel that was helping students or helping her son, to be able to read, to use the segmenting and blending arm. And, my colleague and I talked about it and I said, well, then how else we need to give kids strategies. Oftentimes we want them to memorize, but we want them to be able to, produce, but they need strategies in order to help them to get to that desired ending. And so the segmenting blending arm is a strategy that kids can use to help them to sound out or to help them to segment or break apart words and then to blend them back together. So you tell me what you think. If you're a teacher and you're watching this, do you use the segmenting and blending arm? Have you ever used it? Have you heard about the segmenting and blending arm? And if so, give me a thumbs up or just let me know in the comments what you think about that. Or if you haven't heard about this, is it something that you think that you would, use? I may go ahead and put a link about it in the description box just to share this strategy because again, it is phenomenal. On a lot of the standardized tests, the test will ask the student which one of they'll give a student a word. They may say the word is cat. And then they may say, which one of these, pictures has the same middle sound as cat, right? Well, I tell my students, sound out the word. K-a-t. What's the middle sound? A. Then, if you know what the middle sound is, if it's a, then if they give you the 3 pictures and one of them is a hat, one of them pictures is a rug, one is a mop, you know that you're listening for the a sound and you're able to click on that picture in order to get that answer right. And so with my students, I tell them, I said, every word has the beginning, the first word out, this first sound out of your mouth, the beginning, the middle, and the end. The initial, the medial, and then the final sound. And so it helps them to say, oh wait, if I ask them what's the beginning, so if I ask them what's the beginning sound in cat, they're able to say, oh, k. Oh, they're able to identify the first sound out of their mouth, and that's the beginning sound. Or if I'm looking for the middle or the end, it gives them something hands-on in order to be able to break apart and find the sounds that either the test or that I'm asking for. So I really recommend the segmenting and blending arm. Like, it's a fantastic tool to use to help kids break apart words and then to blend them together. So let me know what you think about that. For some reason, I feel like it's a little controversial, but I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Just break the word down and then blend it together. And the segmenting and blending arm doesn't even just work for like 3, letter words, like CVC words. It can work for, larger or bigger words. If the word is sock, sock. If the word is morning, morning. So anyway, the segmenting blending arm, that's something I just wanted to throw in. I also wanted to give you guys an update with the rhyming game that I said that I was going to use with my students. And FYI, they absolutely love it. I've had 4 students that I have allowed to play this game together consistently. I would say about 4 times. In the morning, they come in, they do their morning work, and then I let them get together with that same 4 people and they play the rhyming game. Now, I chose 2 students who really are strong at rhyme and 2 students who are not. And I have them working together. I kind of modeled it and showed them how to play the game, and they absolutely loved it. They loved it. A lot of times students need to see rhyme, rhyme is something that you hear. Does it sound alike? But I noticed that a lot of times when I let my students see rhyme, then they're able to better kind of understand, oh wait, this is what I'm listening for, if that kind of makes sense. So in the morning, they actually asked me, can we play the rhyming game? I'm like, once you do your work, you all can play the rhyming game. And then my other students want to play as well. But I'm gonna let these same 4 students play together. And then I'll choose another 4, probably like in another week, and let them play together, because it takes them a minute to just kind of warm up to each other, understand the rules of the game, and then they're able to play it like independently with one another and to successfully match the rhyming words. But let me just show you how the game works. It's actually a really great tool to help strengthen them and build their understanding of rhyme. So let me just show you. So what I do is I just break apart the words that rhyme. So you have them together. I break the words apart that rhyme. I turn them over, and let's say I'll give them to pass out the words to the 4 students. After I do that, then what they do is they'll turn it over. Each student will turn over their pile of pictures and words that rhyme. And then one person will push up the word and say, dog. Does anybody have the match or the rhyme for dog? And everyone else will look at their different puzzle pieces, and then that person will say, wait a minute, I have the match for dog, I have frog, and then they match it together, and then they push it forward. And then the next person will go. So everyone will have a chance to take turns. Then the next person will go and say, do you have the match for hose? I have the word hose. And then whoever has that says, wait a minute, I have nose. Nose and hose, they match. And then they will push that together like that. So it's pretty straightforward. Only 2 of the words will rhyme together to make it a little bit easier. And then this way, and it's pretty cool because students are able to see the picture read the word, but actually see, wait a minute, it rhymes because it has the same middle and the same ending. Now, rhyme isn't necessarily about the letters, it's about the sound, but I find that this is a great way to get them to understand, wait a minute, it has to be similar, or it has to look alike and sound alike. Then it's kind of like scaffolding. Then I take away the picture so they can like hear the sound, if that makes sense. But anyway, they actually absolutely love the game. All of the students want to play it, and I really like it because a lot of times on my Promethean board, my students know those types of like computer games. They're really comfortable with hitting the board and those types of things. But these games, this is a little bit, I don't know, old school, but they really enjoyed it, and it really kind of not only just talks to them and hones their skill for this particular rhyme, their rhyming skill, but it also, you know, teaches them like social skills. It teaches them how to work cooperatively together. And so, and that was the surprise too. I didn't realize that they would not know like how to work together and how to assist each other actually with coming up with the match or the rhyme. So this game is a win. I absolutely love it. And for my students who were struggling, what I found was that when I just did a random assessment or a test, and it had to do with rhyme, they actually performed a lot better, believe it or not, on their test after having played this game. I think they've played it for like a week now, maybe about 6 days, and they actually performed better on their test. So it's working, y'all. Hi guys. Well, I realized that I did not close out the video, so I just wanted to come on and say thanks for watching and tuning in with me with all of my updates, as well as with me sharing the strategy of the arm, the segmenting and blending arm. I'm telling you, that's a real good strategy. I'm like passionate about that. I think that everyone should use that with their students or even with their children at home in order to reinforce being able to hear, break down the word, and build the word, as well as being able to sound the word out. But anyway, I digress. I just wanted to say, I was editing, I was like, wait, I didn't close out, so let me close out the video. Also, I was trying to give you guys an update with the ink. You all remember that I brought some ink. It was like $70. The district paid for it, but I ordered some ink to be delivered to the school, and it's like 2 weeks, it's not here. It might even be 2.5 weeks. Usually, when I did it before, it took maybe, I don't know, 5 days, maybe 4 days, something like that. So I went over to the office. I was looking in my mailbox. I was looking at other people's mailbox. I was looking on the ground. I was looking all around. They were like, what are you looking for? I'm like, my $70 ink. And so anyway, I couldn't find it. So hopefully it'll be here soon. I don't want to have to track it down, but I will track that ink down to figure out what has happened so that I can continue printing and not having to pay for it out of my own pocket, but printing work and materials for my students to either extend their learning or just, you know, for their homework and things like that. So I'll give you an update hopefully soon. It'll be a good update about that. Hopefully it won't take me long to track that down. I still have ink though. I still have ink, so I'm still good. But hopefully I'll track that down soon. So again, thanks for watching. I hope that you like, subscribe, and even share. Leave me a comment as well. Let me know what videos that you want me to make or content that you want to see, and then comment on, you know, on anything that you would like to share also about the video. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Have a good one.